Palestine, Jerusalem, the mountains and valleys that lie between the shores of the Mediterranean and the Arabian desert. This is the earth where David slew Goliath, and Moses brought the tablet from the mount. Here, Jesus was born and suffered and died. Here, 12 centuries before, Hebrew tribes from Egypt crossed the Jordan into Canaan and settled the land. The kingdom of Israel prospered and grew under Saul and David and Solomon. Prospered and grew on the twin foundations of the Talmud and the Torah. Side by side they stand, teaching and the law, the basis of that theology known as Judaism, the basis of what we call civilization. In their image, a temple rose and a temple fell. A wall remained, the Wailing Wall, left by the pagans and vandals who laid the temple in ruins. And the Jew began his wandering. The men and women descended from the creators of these philosophies began their endless trudge across the face of the globe. In the 1st century, they went to Tarsus. By the 12th century, they had moved to Rome, to Spain, to Gaul, to England, and to Germany. And then in the 19th century, the movement began again. From Russia, from Germany, from Galicia, from Romania, a handful went back to Palestine. The majority went to the United States. They became part of the New World. They brought their traditions of law and music and art. They built temples to their God. They sent their sons to fight against aggression. Let us meet one of these sons, Milton Kaufman, a member of the Jewish War Veterans.
People who are making this picture think I have something to say that might be of interest to you. Honestly, I don't know whether it will or not, but here goes anyway. I was drafted into the Army, like most of the kids I knew, and got into the 45th Division as a medical aid man in the Field Artillery Battalion. We were sent overseas and got into the first landing in Italy. There we go. Lots of us guys from California and Iowa and Long Island. Catholics, Lutherans, Holy Rollers, atheists, Jews. It didn't matter. We had an enemy to knock off. It was lousy. Fighting, war, is always tough and lousy anyway. But at least we had plenty of supplies and the best equipment and terrific allies. The British and the Free French, and some unexpected ones, like these soldiers walking along the road. See that patch on that truck, on their tanks, on their shell, on their arm? The Star of David, the Jewish Brigade, recruited in Palestine and trained by the British. They died in the same fight for freedom we were fighting. I'm an American, but I was proud to see them. I was proud they helped in our victory.
Victory. We chipped the stone swastika away to erase it from the earth. But Milton Kaufman didn't see it. He got hit after 115 days of combat. But his outfit went on into France and were the guys who opened Dachau. They watched the people hold services again. Look at those flags. Jews from every country in Europe, free to worship God again and to weep. He was too tired to weep. He too young. He too starved. He too mutilated. But he could weep for his wife and child, and she could weep, and she too, for their sons in this trench at Auschwitz, or in this pile at Dachau, this terrible pile of what used to be decent men and women. These are the living with hope again. They said Kaddish for the dead. Our guys joined them. And then most of the Yanks went home, and so did they. Displaced persons camps. They were a little bewildered because they looked so much like concentration camps. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, still there. Yeah, still there. We in America banded together to help, to supplement UNRWA, to feed them and clean them. And clothe them and give them medicine to keep them alive until the world decided their fate. Decided or debated, with human life as the stake. How are they to live? And where were they to go? Here to the United States? Yes, a few. To Palestine? Yes, a few. Under the terms of the British mandate, a pitiful handful were allowed to go to Palestine. But even they saw the land of their fathers through barbed wire. They got off the ships, the healthy into buses bought in St. Louis. The sick were met by nurses supported by Los Angeles. Doctors whose salaries came from Tacoma, and placed in ambulances bought in Brooklyn. You made this possible, all of you, with the money you gave the United Jewish Appeal last year and the year before. You made this possible. Families reunited. These are old pictures. You've seen them before. But you've not seen these before. Illegal ships, they call them. Boarded by the British and turned away from Palestine. They waited to go to Cyprus, and as they waited, they remembered Dachau, displaced persons camps, and now Cyprus. Illegal entry? What's illegal about survival? And in the United Nations, they wrangled and talked and fought. And finally, they came out with a plan to partition Palestine. They came out with it, and then they backed down. They said they couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. I wish I could get up at these meetings at the United Nations and say to them, there are a lot of things that I thought I couldn't do either in Italy, but I did them. And if I had any reason, is that people would stop being pushed around, but they won't let me talk at Lake Success.
Well, Milton, maybe the time for talk is over. In Palestine, they think so. Milton and I think there are two kinds of Jews anyway. Jews like these who wail and cry their hearts out for a lost world. Or Jews like these, young and strong, who train for the future. Not only for themselves, but for the whole world. We like these Jews who make the desert grow. We like these Jews who spin and weave. We like these Jews who build ships and who fish the seas. We like these Jews and their university. We're with kids like this who go and enlist. We like these Jews who are training to fight against aggression, against an enemy who would deprive them of their land and their lives. They're not soldiers. They're like Milton, working in a post office or going to school, who think nothing's more important than the fight for freedom. They've got pride and they've got strength, and they're going to fight. Sure, the Arabs are bombing them. Sure, you even have to have machine guns mounted when you bury your dead. Sure, these buildings, built with sweat and hard labor, are bombed and destroyed. That doesn't stop them. That doesn't stop them because they know they've got to fight. Because they know if they don't fight, they'll be destroyed. The men in the little settlements and the men in the cities. And the women, too, have got guts. The same kind of guts that their ancestors had. The same kind of guts a lot of us over here have not got. They dig the dead out of the ruins, and we go to movies. They man the gun positions of the Holy Land, and we go to baseball games. Maybe we worry about them. Maybe we shed tears over the headlines. But we don't do much of anything else, except maybe give money. To these people, still in the displaced persons camps of Europe, in the cages of Cyprus, in the smoking ruins of their cities of Palestine, our money and our help is the only chance for survival. Without it, they will perish. Without us, they cannot survive. But they'll go on fighting to the last battle for themselves, for us, and for men and women all over the world.
That's what I think. I fought a war to bring peace and decency to the world. I think those guys in Palestine are fighting the same war, and I want to help every way I can. The UJA is the only way I know. I get $282 from the government each month, and I just signed a pledge for 40 of it. How about you?